As you know, at Business Trends TV, we highlight the businesses that are setting trends in their respective industry. And today I definitely have one of those trendsetters. Bruce Rosenwater is a bankruptcy and foreclosure attorney in West Palm Beach. He's an expert in his industry, and he's got a lot of great ideas. There's a lot of questions that I get about the foreclosure process. And today, Bruce is going to add a lot of value to you to give you some answers to some commonly asked questions that you probably have if you're going through the foreclosure process yourself, whether it's in South Florida or any other part of the country. So, Bruce, how you doing?
Good, Ryan. How are you?
Doing great. I'm glad to have you on the show today. I guess anything you wanna start off with? I mean, obviously, you are a foreclosure attorney expert. Anything else that you want to add to that?
Well, we do bankruptcies as well, and that goes a lot with the foreclosures today. A lot of people get it, financial difficulties. I think they run hand in hand.
Well, so why don't we get started? One of the questions that I've heard a lot of people ask is, what should I do if I have received legal paperwork regarding a foreclosure? What should people do in that situation?
Immediately upon receiving that summons, you have 20 days to file a response with the court. So it's very important that you contact an attorney to help you. This is a case which you're involving your home where you reside in, so you don't want to fool around, and there's very complicated issues. And many times these people have been living in their home, put all their money into that home. So you want to immediately contact an attorney, especially an attorney that specializes in foreclosures, because as I said earlier, there are a lot of issues involved with the foreclosure, and it can be a very complicated matter.
Gotcha. Okay. So yeah, it can be very complicated, and obviously, as you said, because it has to do with their home. I mean, it's an important decision that they need to make. It's great to get legal counsel when it's involving something that important. So another question I get is, what are my options in foreclosure if I've stopped making payments or I'm behind in my payments?
Okay. Well, you have a lot of options. When you're behind in your payments, and when you get to the foreclosure stage, that means you've been behind with your payments for quite some time. So some of these individuals may have been working with their lender or have reached no resolution, but there's a number of options. One, of course, when you're served with that foreclosure complaint at the beginning, you need to defend that lawsuit. But during the process of defending the lawsuit, we find out what the client's needs are and what they're looking for. And there may be settlement options. There may be ways to get out of this instead of just walking away and having this judgment and a possible deficiency following them. You can do a deed in lieu of foreclosure, a short sale. We can negotiate a consent judgment, waiving a deficiency. So there's many options that you can have. And so it's best, to retain an attorney, as I said earlier, and speak with them about really what you're looking to do, and then we can determine what's best and what's going on.
Okay, so there's many more options that are available to people than maybe they even know about. That's why it's important to obviously, talk to an attorney about this type of situation, I guess. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay. Do I need a foreclosure defense lawyer?
Yeah, Ryan, as I said earlier, there's so many areas in foreclosure defense that you need to really know the UCC. You need to know real estate. There can be tax consequences. There can be issues regarding bankruptcy. Should I file a Chapter 13? There may be other, there's many different complicated issues involved in these matters. So it's better to find someone that handles this all the time versus someone that does a little bit of everything and it's only dabbles in foreclosures. Because as we said earlier, this is your home, and this is, most people, that's what they have, everything involved in their home. This is where they raise their family. This is where they put all their money into. So it's very important to find a foreclosure defense attorney, not just any attorney.
I got you. Okay. So how much time do I have before the foreclosure process begins, Bruce? Because, and how long does the foreclosure process take once it starts?
Well, typically, you're not referred to what we say foreclosure by the lender until you're at least 3 months behind. But what you see typically Today, it's many, many months past that. Sometimes it's 6 months. It could be we've had people come into our office and they haven't been served with a foreclosure complaint in 18 months or longer. But typically, it's anywhere from 3 to 6 months after you've stop making your last payment. You'll be referred to foreclosure, and the foreclosure process is going to start. Once that process starts, it depends on what defenses you may have. So it's very important to get a foreclosure attorney. There may be a lot of things in the complaint that are incorrect, and you may have a lot of issues out there that could be attacked by a motion to dismiss, or even if you don't have a motion to dismiss, affirmative defenses, and there's a lot of defenses parties can raise that they neglect to raise that can continue these foreclosure processes for a very long time. And typically we find that the attorneys that are filing these actions on behalf of the lender have such a large caseload, the cases that are typically litigated sort of go to the back end. So those cases take a long time to get to be finalized. So sometimes, you know, you can be in that property 24 months, 36 months or longer while you're fighting the foreclosure action.
Wow, that's a long time. I do know, I know people that have been in properties for up to 36 months after they started the process of going through a short sale or this process. So I know that that does happen, especially a lot of them down here in South Florida. In regards to your payment, I mean, if somebody, you know, obviously one of the big concerns I'm sure that people have is, well, you know, I'm in this financial situation right now. How am I going to afford an attorney? Can you maybe make that that process a little bit easier do you offer payment plans or anything like that?
Yeah, depending on the situation, we do offer. Sometimes we do on a set fee per month, and the only thing additional would be any hard costs like court reporters, filing fees. Other times we charge an hourly rate with a retainer. It just depends on the circumstance and what the person's looking for.
Okay.
But let me tell you this, Ryan, you know, if you're going to pay us a flat fee, it's a lot cheaper than you would be paying for your mortgage or to rent someplace else to live. So it's in your best interest to, if you want to keep the home, to enter into something, that type of payment arrangement.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, if it makes more sense to go this route, especially, and at some point, you gotta, the bleeding has to stop, and I think this is a great way to do that. I mean, obviously to get expert help, and I really appreciate all the information that you've given us today. I mean, we've gone through a good solid gamut of, you know, questions that I know that most 99% of people that are going through the foreclosure process are going to want to know the answers to. So I'm going to obviously keep this on our Business Trends TV YouTube channel. We're gonna also post some of these answers to your YouTube channel to help people out in this foreclosure process. Obviously, you're an expert that can help people in this type of situation. If somebody wants to get a hold of you, what's the best way to reach you guys?
The best way, they can probably email us or go on our website and they can put a question. The phone number is 705-0627. That's area code 561. But we're more than happy to help anyone with any questions they may have. And if it's just a general question, you know, email us or go onto the website if you need more information or want to schedule an appointment, give us a call. That's what we're there for.
Okay, awesome. And I think one of your numbers I think I had earlier is 561-705-0627, and then it's bankruptcy attorney West Palm Beach FL.com is his website. Is there any last parting words that you have to say to people if they're in this process?
I just want to say this is a complicated area. You really should see an attorney. See an attorney that has a lot of expertise in this area. What we're seeing today is a lot of people that have been doing other things or trying to dabble into foreclosure defense. And I like to tell my clients sometimes when they balk about a fee or something, you know, when you buy a good suit, it's going to last you for a long time. If you buy a cheap suit, you're going to have to keep buying them. So what you want is the best legal advice, and sometimes it costs more than someone else, but don't be penny wise and pound foolish.
Gotcha. And you've been practicing this area for many years, so I think that, yeah, that's obviously this is your area of expertise, and I appreciate the time that you gave us today. And thanks, Bruce. And we'll probably do this again in a month and a half or so to talk about another topic that people are going to want to know information about too. Okay.
I look forward to that. Thank you for your time.